Hello, my name is Peter, and I'm recording this at 9:54 p.m. on January 20th, 2022. This video is sponsored by Squarespace. Thank you very much. And this pen was one you saw maybe in the previous video. Ben Walsh Designs, who has Gravitas pens, we'll check the link in the description. He sent me some pens, and a couple of them are very cool because they were stacked nib pens, but this one is just a normal single nib pen, and it's also very satisfying. So I wanted to give it a chance, draw with it, and it was a dream, a blissful experience to draw with, partly because I think the nib was tuned. I don't know to which note, but it was tuned by Jose Munuera. Could be saying his name wrong. Check the description for his Instagram page as well. And it just feels really good. This drawing in this sketchbook is very, this drawing I did today is very, I don't know how to explain it, but high contrast. Like I didn't do any hatching for shading or anything like that. Every spot is either just on or off. And I probably did it because this pen is so satisfying to just scribble down big blotches of ink. So it was sometimes when you are covering large sections of the paper with ink, with any pen, it can feel like a chore. But with this pen, it was wonderful. It was just fun and satisfying, like spreading butter over bread, but the butter never runs out. Oh. Also, speaking of satisfying, it recently snowed some here, but much like it often goes for North Carolina snowing, it snowed a little bit, and then the snow it decided it didn't want to be snow anymore, and it turned to sleet and freezing rain. So we had like 2 inches of snow, and then on top of that was this crusty layer of ice, which was I guess probably dangerous for driving in, and if it had continued on too much longer, it probably would have started bringing down trees and stuff because it just sticks to all the branches, unlike just regular snow, which will just kind of pile up and fall off. But anyways, the satisfying part was I put on a nice pair of boots, I put on a jacket or two, I layered up because it's better than putting one big jacket on, especially because when I go for walks, by the end of the walk, I've worked up a bunch of body heat that wasn't there at the beginning of the walk, so I need to gradually be able to unzip things, if not take them off altogether. I would prefer not to have to take them off altogether because then I have to carry it. Sometimes I just gradually unzip layer by layer as I slowly heat up, and kind of gamble a little bit on how cold I can stand on being at the beginning of the walk because I know I'll heat up some. Anyways, let me get to the satisfying part, which is hard to convey here, but the satisfying part was the crunchiness of the snow. Wait, let me get back to it. Also, it's very satisfying to make a website with Squarespace. Hopefully, here in this doodle, I remembered all of the letters of Squarespace this time. But if you're ever making a website and you forget something, it's easy to drag things around, add things, adjust things. You don't have to be an internet or computer expert to set up your own website. You can choose from a whole array of beautiful templates, some of them kind of pre-configured for certain things. If maybe you have a little business you're trying to get started online, Squarespace's e-commerce tools are very robust. They work well. I sell stuff on my website, and I wouldn't do it if it wasn't simple, okay? I'm a lazy person when it comes to stuff that isn't art, and it works well for me there. So go to squarespace.com for your free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/PeterDraws for 10% off your first website or domain. So there I was, walking, strolling, maybe trudging, because there was snow, and I feel like it did turn into trudging a little bit, but very satisfying, crunchy trudging. The only downside was that I couldn't walk on the pure, like the virgin, unadulterated snow. I had to walk places where other people had driven their cars already because the smooth stuff on the street and beside the street, it was just too slippery. And my body weight wasn't enough to break the ice down through to because it's like this, there might have been like almost an inch of ice in some places, an inch of ice, and then like had compacted the 2 inches of snow underneath down to only be like a half inch of snow. But I could walk on top of the stuff already kind of crumbled up a little bit by cars and other people walking by. It's very just crunch, crunch, crunch every step. The sound was amazing. The tactile response from my boots coming down on the little chunks of ice and snow was amazing. The fresh winter air on my face, it's just one of the best walks I've had in a long time. Okay, that's what I'm trying to share with you. It was just, look, there's one, you hear a lot about fall leaves being nice and crunchy to step on, but I feel like I need to hear more about this. Maybe it's because this is it's like a meteorological phenomenon, has to have this specific amount of snow, the specific amount of ice, and then the right temperature, and then the sun can't shine too much. The stuff doesn't have to start melting. But it was the most wonderful, crunchy walk, and I would recommend it to anyone. I'm sure anyone. I couldn't figure out why the streets weren't crowded with everyone out there just stomping away at the snow. Well, of course, I wouldn't. I guess no one's out. Look, this is a PSA. It needs to be out there. I know it's too late now. Most of the snow has melted. I'm guessing the only reason why the streets weren't crowded with everyone stomping on the crunchy ice is because they just didn't know. If they knew, they would have been there. So I'm sorry I didn't tell you in time. That is my sincere apology. But next time I'll try to tell you sooner. I'll tweet about it. I'll project it over the loudspeaker system if there's one near you that I have access to. I'll send you a text. Okay? All right, see you later. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you think about this drawing. And take care. All right, goodbye. Oh, yeah, and subscribe. Okay, bye.